Hey, Shaniqua, what's happening?
How are you?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored. What's going on?
I wasn't really expecting that response, but shout out to you.
Oh no, I'm the type of person, if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm gonna tell you.
Right, so if you were having a shitty day, you would say it?
Absolutely. But I would say, no need for me to complain about it, because who wants to hear that? That's what I got a therapist for.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you're kind of like the big man on campus right now because you sat down with Mr. West.
Yeah, that was fun.
So before the sit down, what was your relationship with him? What was the climate you guys were in?
Me and he always been cool. He'd been to the Breakfast Club like twice.
Right.
And I've always called him to task on various things. It was always especially when he was trying to be one of the heads of these fashion houses, I would always call him.
No one wants to hear your rich man's problems.
Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about your fashion. Not saying that you can't do it.
Right.
I just don't want to hear about it. I want to hear about your music. And that's when he was like really, I think at the time he had just started getting with Kim, so I would call him Kanye Kardashian.
Right.
Because it seemed like it was a complete 180 from the person that we knew and loved from college dropout, late registration, graduation, all that good stuff. And I'm a fan at the end of the day, and I never try to lose that sense of being a fan, but we've always had good rapport. Like, he always, send me an email, because he recently just got a phone. Like,
right. T.I. said that on the interview today.
Yeah. He's historically, he never had a phone, so he would just always like email or something, or if he did call me, it'd be from another line, and we would just kick it, But recently, I've been talking to him a lot more, I feel like he just probably needs some people to talk to right now.
So who initiated that interview? Did he reach out to you? Did you hit him up?
Yeah, he hit me up like back in February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he wanted to do this since way back in February. Okay. That's why when everybody says it's a publicity stunt for his music and all of that kind of stuff, I don't necessarily think so. Like, I keep hearing the rhetoric of Kanye West only talks to people when he got something to sell. Kanye was selling sneakers all last year. Right. Everybody was rocking Yeezys. You didn't hear from him. So, he reached out back in February, but our schedules couldn't coordinate, and finally, we made it happen in April 18th.
So what technique and approach did you use when sitting down with Kanye West? Because you can't talk to Kanye West the same way you talk to somebody else.
Yes, I can. 100%. But, I mean, my approach to talking to everybody nowadays is just like, have a conversation, man. One thing I've realized is that you never know what people are going through anymore. So even if you have an opinion, you can express your opinion, but I still strive to do it more respectfully nowadays. Only because I see myself on the other side sometimes too, and I'm looking at things people say about me, and I'm like, that's not true.
Does it ever hurt your feelings when you see certain things?
Nah, I'm not gonna say hurt my feelings, but I'll be like, I think about it. Like, it's not nothing that I brush off, and me personally, I'm just like, why doesn't that person just reach out to me? Or I wish I could have a conversation with this person, because social media don't do it.
Right.
You can send somebody a message on social media and they're not even paying that no attention. They just hyped off the fact you replied to them, and then it becomes like a shit show for their followers. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like pointless. But I just wanted to have a conversation with him, because last we heard from him, he had a mental breakdown.
Right, so but he likes to call it a breakthrough.
Breakthrough. So to me, that's something I take serious, you know what I mean? Like this, and by the way, this was April 18th, so this was before the whole I love Trump and the Make America Great Again hats and all of that good stuff. I mean, I did hear him say that he wanted to vote for Trump, but I wanted to know why.
Right.
You
sat with him for 2 whole hours, but at any point, was it hard to follow along? Because I would look in your eyes and you just looked a little like, what's happening?
I'm not gonna say hard to follow. You lose me when you start talking about all these goddamn fashion brands.
Facts, because I didn't know it either.
I don't know what the hell's going on. So at that point, I just gotta tell you, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Right. You know what I'm saying? Break it down for me in more layman's terms. But it wasn't hard to follow. He's just somebody that you gotta really, really, really pay attention to.
And let unpack.
Yeah, just like anybody else. Like, I really just think he wanted to talk. Like, it is a lot to unpack. You got to think he's talking to us about a whole year of events, from his wife being robbed to his issues with Jay-Z to, why he said he would vote for Trump. Like, it was just a lot. Virgil leaving to go to Louis Vuitton. That was his former creative assistant or creative director. I don't know what the exact title was. So it was just a lot for him to unpack.
Anyone that follows you knows that you're a huge advocate for therapy. Like you admitted or said on the interview, every Friday at 3 o'clock, if anyone wants to know where you are, you're with your therapist.
100%.
Kanye says, I use the world as my therapist. I draw people in and I'll bring them into the conversation. I too have a therapist. My therapist is dope. But I think it's very dangerous for you to just draw somebody in and use them as, your sounding board. At that point, why did you not interject?
I honestly didn't think about it till after the fact, because it was kind of like I told him I go to therapy, and that was my way of recommending it. Then I asked him, did he go?
Right.
And he says he kind of used it as his sounding board. And up to that point, talking to him, I feel like everybody could use a therapist.
Facts.
But he seemed like he was just venting and unpacking, things in that moment. So I really honestly didn't think about it till after the fact, and I thought about it after the fact, and I was like, damn, that's the type of stuff I used to say before I started going to see a therapist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the world is my therapy. Forget paying somebody to talk to me. I'll talk to myself.
Right.
You mumbling to yourself in the car while you're driving, looking crazy, So I really honestly didn't think about it till after the fact.
To me, it seemed as if your more potent questions came towards the end when you guys were walking along his 300-acre, shout out to him, and you said, I firmly believe that your mother would not have been a supporter of Trump.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, it'd have been a lot more potent. What's the word you used? Potent, I'm sorry. It'd have been a lot more potent questions if, this interview would have happened now.
No. My question is, did it take you some time to warm up to be able to ask that question? Because,
I think the beginning of the interview, he had a lot of stuff he wanted to get off his chest.
Yes.
So it was more so, I was asking him questions, but he would start talking about Jay-Z.
Right.
Talking about Virgil. So it's kind of like, well, I got questions about Jay-Z and Virgil. He's already talking about this, so let's take it.
Let it
go that way. Because I think that's when you get the most. That's when you get the person you're interviewing the most comfortable, when
you let them
talk about what they want to talk about. Because I mean, honestly, if you got something on your mind and somebody asks you a question about something else, you're not really going to answer the question you was asked wholeheartedly.
Right.
So I let him talk about the things he wanted to talk about. By the time we got on that hill,
the sun was about to set.
Yeah. And we literally have been together all day. Like, y'all saw a couple hours. Like, I was there for like 12 hours.
Is his house really that white?
Yeah.
He has like 3 kids under the age of 5. Like,
I mean, maybe that was a certain part of the house. I didn't ask. I just know that his mindset behind it was less is more.
Right.
And I kind of feel like that. Think about when you do spring cleaning and you get rid of all that clutter and you can like see your carpet.
Right.
You know what I mean? You might have had a bunch of shirts and stuff all over your couch or ottoman or something, and then when you finally clear it, it just looks. Oh, it looks so much brighter.
It does look brighter, but for someone who had a breakthrough, that all white just reminded me of like a hospital.
It's not like a white though. It's like a.
Like an eggshell?
Eggshell, grayish color. Not necessarily like bright white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kanye said, when he was talking about Jay-Z, I'm out here in Hollywood, my mama passed, I don't trust nobody. And did that spring the question of, well, you have your wife and you're a part of the Kardashian-Jenner clan, and you asked him, does he feel like he can't trust them?
Yeah, 100%.
He paused before giving an answer. I could not feel the energy that he was trying to suppress or muster up, but what energy did you feel from him during that pause?
That was interesting. That was an interesting moment. I mean, he just was like, he paused, he thought about it, he goes, I'm going to give you a slick response,
right, but I got to go home. Right.
So I really don't know what to make of that. But before that, he said everything's a storyline. So I think that if you marry probably the biggest reality star in the world, one of the most famous people in the world, I think you kind of know what comes with that territory. It's kind of like marrying a stripper and then getting mad because she still wants to dance. Or marrying a woman that you see on Instagram all the time and she's always showing her body and stuff, and then when you get with her, you want her to stop. Like, you knew what you was getting involved in, so you kind of got to take everything that comes with that, right? So I think he's accepted that, and I think she's accepted his Kanye.
Right.
Absolutely.
There was a meme that Snoop posted and said the evolution between Jay-Z and Kanye, or you can see the evolution between Jay-Z and Kanye comes down to their wives, something to that effect. Do you feel like it's fair to say that?
I don't think that's fair to the wives.
Do you feel like if Kanye had a black wife, he would behave differently?
Yo, I just said that. I said that earlier.
If Kanye's wife was Shaniqua, if he married a Shaniqua.
Absolutely, because Shaniqua gonna bust him upside his head. It's funny because I literally just said that in the interview because they asked me something about Kim. Does Kim have any say in this? Can Kim take his phone? Right. I said, it sounds like you saying Kanye need a black woman. Right, you know what I mean? Like his aunt or his grandma or somebody need to come bust him upside his head and like just take his phone and say, sit down somewhere. Right. Like that's how I grew up. I grew up with black women telling me, sit your ass down somewhere. And if you sat down. And if you didn't sit down, they was gonna sit you down. Right. So I think that's exactly what he needs. He needs somebody to sit his ass down for a second. Like sometimes it's okay to be still. Because like I feel like he's getting a lot of information because I think a lot of this stuff is new to him, especially in the political arena. So I think he's getting a lot of information, but he's not giving himself a chance to digest it and understand it, process it, before you just take it and spit it back to the world.
There were some times throughout the interview Kanye made a lot of sense, and I don't know if I know because I'm a Gemini myself, and I feel like Kanye's giving Geminis a bad rap right now. But there are a lot of things that made sense, and there were a lot of things that did not make sense. He said that there is no bad. Even people who want to kill us are not your enemy. Did you understand that?
Yes, I did. Because
so can you translate?
Well, I always say that I don't feel like there's any good or bad experience in life. Everything is just part of this long process, and you realize that with time, right? Like there's certain things that have happened in my life that hurt or upset me, or I felt like it was a mistake, or I felt like it was a loss, but I learned from it. And I feel like as long as you learn from it, how can it be a bad experience, you know?
But someone wanting to kill you, not being your enemy, those are the words that he used.
Yeah, that don't mean that they're not a threat, and that don't mean that you don't defend yourself against that,
But I don't look at that as a good thing. I think a lot of people would not look at that as a good thing.
Yeah, I understand him trying to rationalize it, but yeah, I don't think. Man, I don't know what the hell that meant. Hold on, let me think about it. Let me see. Because I understood I understood the first part of what he was saying.
That there is no bad. It's just like
and so I just kind of like took that thought as a part of the first thought. Like he's just trying to say he doesn't look at anything as bad, including an enemy,
Okay.
And I can kind of see that.
Okay.
It depends what type of wave you on. Like right now, Kanye's on that love everybody wave, forgive everybody. I love the person who, even the doctor who, did the surgery on my
Adams,
mom.
right.
I love Trump. Like I haven't gotten to that level of life yet. I don't feel like everybody's worthy of my love.
I don't want to get to that level of life.
Me neither, especially people that I feel like are trying to harm me in some way, shape, or form. Like, I think forgiveness is overrated. I'm one of those
I'm not
people.
a forgiving person either.
I don't like people say, "Oh, you gotta forgive because if you forgive, it'll make you feel better."
I believe if you understood what you did, you would not need me to forgive you. Thus, you would not have done it.
100%. Like I don't subscribe to that at all.
Right.
At all. Like I'll pray for you. And
Shout out to you. I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, I don't do that either. I'm lying. I don't like to waste my prayers on people that I don't care about. But you know what? I do. Right. Sometimes I do. Because I do sometimes get on my knees because I just want to. Because I feel, maybe because people have told me that so much in my life. So I'll do it just so I know I'm not really upset at them. And then I keep it moving. Right. Like, I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to deal with you. Like, you know what? Why I got to forgive you for doing me wrong? That don't even make no sense.
Facts. I like that. So your interview is now what, #1 viewed on YouTube?
Yeah, yep. It's been
Congratulations! Shout out to you. And
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what it means either. But I just want to say congratulations. But shortly after, Kanye and Van Lathan, they had their exchange on TMZ. When you heard Ye say what he said, slavery was a choice. Before he went on Twitter and explained himself. Were you disappointed? Were you upset? Were you?
Well, Van is like one of my closest friends in the world.
Shout out to Van.
Yeah, that's my guy. And so it's interesting because he told me about it after it happened. Like, and then, Ye hit me and told me what happened. And I'm like, I don't even know what either one of y'all. I couldn't process what exactly was said. I'm like, because I'm like, what do you mean he said slavery was a choice? Like, I didn't get what he said. And then. So Kanye had already explained it to me before I saw it, but then when I watched it, I'm like, Nah, bruh, this wasn't a good look at all. And you know, I understand what you meant to say because I have the context to it, but I can't judge you for what you meant to say. I got to judge you for what you said. What you said was slavery was a choice. Slavery was not no damn choice. You know, you can't enroll in slavery. All right, nobody out here is trying to pledge slave-fire you. Like that's not the way none of this works.
Right.
You know, so I don't even understand why you had a context in your brain that you explained to me perfectly, but then you went on there and blurted that out. And you know what he was trying to say was, he was trying to talk about psychological stuff.
Right, like the fact that there's so many of us and there's one of you and we have not had the brain power to overthrow.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to Nat Turner.
Nat Turner, listen, one of two things would have happened if all the slaves would have rebelled. Either they would have won, or they would have all got killed.
Right.
Either way, it wouldn't have been no slavery. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And these white people would have had to build this country for themselves. Right. You know, so I understood what he was trying to say, but you can't say slavery was a choice because it wasn't a choice. Slavery was a crime. You know what I'm saying? People were kidnapped. People were sold. Like, nobody made the choice to be a slave.
There are people who are very, very, very disappointed and very hurt with where Kanye is now. I am not one of those people. Are you disappointed with where Kanye is now?
I wasn't until everybody else started getting like real disappointed, because in my mind, I'm like, all right, I understand Kanye's one of the top three, to me, he's one of the top three most influential rappers ever. I think it's Tupac, I think it's Jay-Z, I think it's Kanye. Just their influence on culture. Like, you know, if you look at all of these guys that's out now, the Drakes, the Kendricks, the Coles, the Big Seans, like all of these guys are fruit of Kanye West's tree. Chance the Rapper, to me anyway, that's what I think. Mm-hmm. So I understand that he got influence as far as culture is concerned, but it's like when he started talking politics, it's almost like that Dave Chappelle joke. Who cares what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Like who cares what Kanye thinks at a time like this? But clearly people care. Like I'm seeing people.
They really do care. They're really invested.
It's unbelievable.
But do you think that speaks to how fragile we are as a community, that we care so much about what Kanye thinks? Because I was just talking to my boss, Daytron Thomas, shout out to Daytron Thomas, wherever he is. And I said to him, if Jay-Z said that, I would be upset. But Kanye saying that, it doesn't hurt me that much, and maybe it's because Kanye has said like wild fuck shit in the past before.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's Kanye being Kanye.
Right.
Like Kanye's superpower is clearly also his weakness in this case, because if you tell Kanye West he can't do something or not to do something, he's gonna double down on it. But I mean, that's what got us Jesus Walks on the radio. That's what got, you know, this guy with a pink polo, you know, signed into some place like Rockefeller where all the artists were a little bit more street. Like, you know, that's what got Kanye on stage saying George Bush don't care about black people. So you kind of gotta like accept him for what he is, even though right now you don't agree with the rhetoric that he's spewing. But you said something earlier that I found very interesting, because I truly feel that way. If you say that the world is your therapist and you're just pulling different people in to talk to, you know, you can't trust the people that you're talking to give you the right information.
Right.
So that's why it's scared when you see him. It scares me when I see him leaning towards people on the right. You know, so I got to ask myself sometime, like, damn, are we shunning our own people? Because, you know, I don't like this whole cancel culture.
Oh, man. I guess, I'll ask you that now. What is your definition of cancel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a definition of cancel. Like, I mean, I guess, like, I don't rock with R. Kelly.
Okay, so I don't rock with R. Kelly either, but
Yeah.
it's Nipsey Hussle at Broccoli City. He put a picture up of Kanye wearing the Make America Great Again hat up on like the screen, and he was like, yo, like, you out here doing this. Like, he was really upset. And people are talking about Kanye is canceled, right? But R. Kelly seems to be just now coming into his cancellation.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like,
it's weird, and like I feel like we need to cancel culture. That's number one.
Facts.
And number two, I don't like us canceling people who have contributed a lot to the culture and have contributed a lot.
But hold on, Bill Cosby contributed a lot to the culture.
But
Should he not be canceled?
He don't count though.
Why does he not count?
He was raping women.
Yeah, but but if I'm going by your statement, you're saying that I don't like that we are canceling people who have contributed to the culture. I think Bill Cosby absolutely should be canceled. I don't know if I agree with the Cosby Show being off the air.
Now his art,
Right.
God bless Bill Cosby. You know, if I was him, I'd have died 3 years ago.
Right.
But personally, I do still want the Cosby Show on the air. I still want a different word on the air.
Right.
Positive images of black people, you know. But I think when it comes to Kanye, like, that's his political views. And if you listen to him, he's not informed.
No, he's not.
At all. So
He's
it's
not.
not like he loves Trump because of his policies, because of his ideologies. He likes Trump because Trump reminds him of him as far as celebrity.
T.I. said it today when the interview that when he was asking Kanye about, well, what do you think about the travel ban? Kanye was like, what travel ban?
He don't know nothing about it.
Right.
If you watch the interview I did with him, and I'm like, you know, he's deporting people. He's trying to oppress and marginalize people that look like you. How can you love somebody like that? Kanye can't even answer it. He took that long pause and he was like, look, man, I don't have the answers, man. I just would have ran a Donald Trump campaign with Bernie Sanders principles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally just likes Trump because Trump is loud and Trump says what he wants when he wants. And you got to think, Kanye got on that stage at the VMAs. Kanye was dead serious when he said he wanted to run for president.
And that's so damn scary.
And a lot of people probably talked him out of it, but then he saw somebody like Trump win, and in his mind, he's like,
oh, now it can actually happen.
yeah, I could have did that.
Right.
That's why he keep talking about 2024. He should run head up against Trump in 2020.
You want Kanye to be leader?
No, I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him, but I think that if you got your best chance of winning would be 2020. Go head up against Trump, because I mean, right now we in idiocracy. We got about till 2024 before I think we get out of this phase of dumb shit. I just think like there's a lot of energy. You ever seen the movie Idiocracy? Everybody should watch the movie Idiocracy. Idiocracy is about how society just got more and more dumb. So it was these guys it was a guy and a girl who got frozen in time from like, I think the early 2000s, and then they woke up in like 2040, 2050, and they were like the most average people when they were alive, IQ-wise, but when they got sent to the future, they were the smartest people on the planet. Like, people were literally like watching a movie with just the ass on the screen. And the movie was called Ass, and it had won like 8 Oscars in that time period. Like, no, it was wild. And Terry Crews was president. Right. You know what I'm saying? With a wig on, like, and I'm like, yo, that's the time we living in right now. Right. So I feel like we got till about 2024 where everybody gets out of this dumb shit phase.
My colleague does not have faith that Ye's album is going to be good. He was like, yo, y'all putting a lot of faith that this shit's about to be whack. I'm not going to put him on blast. Mm-hmm. You heard it.
I heard a lot of it.
Is it old Ye production wise? Is it Scoopity Doop?
It is old Ye production. It's funny because he played me that record in the studio and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I couldn't even hear the words. And he was like, oh no, that was just the reference. And then he was like, that is the words. And I was like, I didn't even process that one. But yeah, I mean, I think the music is good. I don't know if it's slavery was a choice good. You know, walking around with a Make America Great Again hat good. Because now, like, the expectations are way too high. Like, you got to have some fire music if you're going to be out here supporting Donald Trump and think that black people are still going to support you. You know what I'm saying? But it's good. It's really great. Like, it's got its old soul samples, like those old chopped soul samples that we like from Ye. Tiana Taylor got some great music. Tiana Taylor got some amazing.
Shout out to Tiana Taylor. I'm a huge Tiana Taylor fan.
She got some amazing music. Like, Pusha T got some dope music. Like, he played me a lot of dope stuff. But once again, that was on April 18th.
Right before.
A lot of things have changed. People don't just take your music in anymore. People remember how you made them feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, Kanye not making people feel good. So if that person's not making you feel good, when you listen to their music, you're not going to receive it as well as you would have if you just was judging it from a more positive perspective. So like I said, I just don't know if it's slavery was a choice good, Make America Great Again had good, but it's really good music.
Is Kanye canceled? Can Kanye ever be canceled?
Oh, you can definitely be canceled. I mean, Bill Cosby is proof of that. Like, you can absolutely, positively be canceled, but I don't think Kanye should be canceled yet. I think that everybody should be all hands on deck if you care. You know, there's nothing wrong with not caring either. Like, black people are not a monolithic people. I personally feel like Kanye means too much to the culture.
T.I. said that. He was just like, we cannot afford to lose Kanye.
Nah.
Why can't we afford to lose Kanye?
Because he means too much to the culture and he has too much influence. And I mean, I think I read an article earlier today and it was like these alt-right groups applauding what he said. So when you got somebody with that big of a gun, you got to teach him how to shoot. Because I think right now, like, he just is not armed with the proper information. Like, I want him to sit down with Michael Eric Dyson. I want him to continue to have conversations with Minister Farrakhan. I want you to talk to somebody like Killer Mike. Like, go sit down and talk to people who actually have knowledge on these situations.
Killer Mike sat down with the NRA, bruh. So he might need to.
Can't cancel Killer Mike either. Killer Mike got here with tons of black businesses in Atlanta. He's opening up a barbershop in Phillips Arena. Like, who's blacker than Killer Mike? He went to Morehouse. He's been banking black since he was a kid. His grandma put him on to banking black. Yes, he made a mistake sitting down with the NRA. He owned his mistake. He apologized.
And he tried to get at Joy and Reed talking about H&M, not knowing that H&M meant hair and makeup.
Listen,
Come on, you can't be strong and wrong and talk to the NRA,
you're right.
beloved.
That was stupid. I gave him donkey of the day for that. You know
Good job.
I mean?
Good job.
But Joy, we forgave Joy.
Yeah, okay.
Joy had a misstep last week too.
All right, Joy had a misstep.
You know, I think that's what we gotta get back to doing.
Got a lot of people to have their missteps.
Yeah, and we can hold our people accountable. Absolutely. Nobody in our culture is above criticism. Nobody is above being held accountable. But if it's not like a super egregious offense, like rape,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or murder or something, then I think we can forgive people, you know. But I think that's what we just need to monitor. I'm watching the situation because I'm trying to figure out when am I gonna wash my hands of it, you know? But I mean, we're talking all the time, and I'm sending him literature, and I'm sending him information, and I'm directing him towards people that he should be sitting down having conversations with. Like, you know, when he talked about the young lady, I can't remember.
Candace
her name.
Owens?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I don't know her. You know, I watched some of her interviews. Sound like typical black conservative rhetoric to me. Some things she said I agreed with, but I'm like, yo, why don't you talk to Angela Rye?
Facts.
Why don't you talk to Tamika Mallory? You know what I'm saying? Talk to Linda Sarsour. Like, just talk to some other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we all should talk to people even if we don't share the same views and values as them. But I want him to talk to more people. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I got me a team. I got a strong unit of black women that I go to for counsel all the time. Talk to Amanda Seals. Like, talk to people other than the ones that are feeding you this, like, toxic rhetoric about your own people, you know?
Last question. Who are you when no one is looking?
Leonard McKelvey.
And who is that?
I don't know. I'm figuring that out every day, you know?
Are you still the guy that made Lil Mama cry?
No, I'm definitely not that person. Maybe. I don't think so. You know, it depends on the context. Like that, even that was taken out of context because like we were supposed to be clowning on each other. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that she was gonna have jokes too, and she tried to snap a couple. Mine was just better. So I don't mind. I don't mind. You know, playing the dozens with somebody, but nah, I'm definitely not that individual no more. That was 8 years ago. You know, Muhammad Ali said, if you're the same person, if the man at 50 is the same as he was at 30, he's wasted 20 years of his life. Like I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly evolving. I know that I have core values, but I'm not afraid to question anything that I may believe, you know? Yeah, I think growth and evolution is a beautiful thing. Like I'm gonna be 40 soon. I don't want to be that guy that's like 40 feeling like I'm just getting out of my first childhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a lot of brothers that are 40, especially in hip hop, it takes them to get to that age to finally just be like, I'm out of my first childhood. You know, I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just constantly growing, constantly evolving, constantly learning new information, and I don't know who I am, to be totally honest with you.
Thanks.
Word.